Okay, so I'm basically going to discuss about the Union. As I said before about the Union, how it was formed, it was basically formed by a Scottish king. The Scottish king believed in peace and unity. That is how the United Kingdom was formed. Now, a lot of people probably think that the United Kingdom was probably formed due to England and its tyranny. Now, I'm not having a go at English people. They are not at fault for whoever led the country of its time, and it's the exact same story hundreds of years ago when William Wallace had fought, for Scotland. And back in those days, even England's king was tyrannical, and I don't believe that the people of England were to blame of that time. They were to fight for whoever led their country. The United Kingdom was formed by a Scottish king, and that Scottish king believed in peace and unity, which is basically how the United Kingdom was formed. Now, a lot of people seem to get confused between an England flag and the Union flag, what we call the Union Jack. Now, I don't understand why people seem to call the flag of the United Kingdom, the flag of Great Britain, which is the Union Jack, why they call this flag of the United Kingdom England. Now, that is very insulting, and it's insulting simply because I'm going to point out to you why that's wrong. If you look at this image, right, this image here is what you call the flag of Scotland, the Scottish Saltire. That is the flag of Scotland. The bonny blue flag, the St Andrew's Cross, that is the Scotland flag, and it's the oldest flag in the world. It's very recognised, well recognised, and you can clearly see the foundation of the Union flag. Now, you perhaps never thought about this at first, but if you look carefully at the flag itself, right, the Scottish Saltire, you will notice yourself that it is the foundations of the Union flag. Now, if I was to look at the England flag, the St George's Cross, with the red cross going horizontally and vertically, and of course the white background. Now, if you look at these two flags, what would happen if you combined both of them together? Well, I'll show you basically what you have. You have the first and oldest Union flag. You combine the flag of Scotland, the St Andrew's Cross, and the flag of England, the St George's Cross, and you will get the oldest Union flag. You've probably seen Pirates of the Caribbean, the first film, and you've seen at the top of the castle or whatever it was, the building, nearer probably the start of the film, there was a Union flag, and it was an old Union flag. You could clearly see the Saltire in the background, the Scottish Saltire, and the St George's Cross going over the top of it. Now, later at some point, they added the St Patrick's Cross of Ireland, because Northern Ireland became part of the United Kingdom, and that is where the red comes into it. Well, the red in terms of where the white cross is of the Saltire, and that is what forms the flag of the United Kingdom. That's what forms the Union Jack. That is not an England flag. An England flag is the St George's Cross with a white background. There is a very, very strong difference. How can you call a Union flag an England flag? You simply can't. The bottom line is, the word united means stand together. That's what united stands for. United means together. United does not mean one country rules the other entirely. You know something? See if England completely ruled Scotland and there was no union, what you would have is Scotland simply known as England. That's it. You wouldn't have Scotland. Scotland's flag would be the St George's Cross. That's all it would be. We wouldn't even be a country, you know. We wouldn't be a country. We would be England. That's all we would be. We wouldn't have our own land, you know. Yes, to a certain degree, Scotland did have its independence taken from them. And you know, when the Union was formed and the Scottish King basically formed with the King of England, this is how it got its name, United Kingdom. Both kings, the Scottish King who believed in peace and unity and the English King, united together to basically create what is known as the United Kingdom. Now the Scottish King, he was first to the heir of the throne of Britain, basically, of the Union. He was first to be in control, and of course when the Union formed, England had other tyrannical leaders and they never stood true to their words, from what I believe. I don't know too much of that part of history, but from what I gather, I'm guessing they would have been backstabbers, traitors. But again, it all goes back to whoever led the country at its time. I'm sure there was even a point where it wasn't even English kings in rule of the United Kingdom. You know, it wasn't like an English king. Look at Prince William, King William, Prince William of Orange, the Dutch King III. He was never English. He was a Dutch king. You know, he was a Dutch king who was put in charge at that time. You've probably heard of the Glencoe massacre, and it was because of King William, who hated Scotland because of its rebellious ways. He hated the Scottish people, and he set about in teaching them a lesson. Now, he was too scared to fight Scotland on the battlefield with an English army, so what he done was he bribed them. He bribed the people. At the time, the most powerful clan, Clan Campbell, was used through bribery to massacre the MacDonalds in Glencoe, and that is basically what King William had set about doing, to teach the Scots a lesson, you know, to teach the Scottish people a lesson for, I think it was to gain control, or I have no, you know, idea. I'm not 100% on that part of history. Today in the United Kingdom, no country, and this is what people need to understand, no country rules Great Britain. Not one. Wales doesn't, England doesn't, Scotland doesn't. But of course, there are laws which at its time, you know, there are laws that Scotland couldn't, you know, specifically have full control over, as, you know, the main power was in London. Most of the British government, in fact, are actually Scottish. That's another thing. You remember Tony Blair? He was Scottish. You look at much of the royal family, Scottish again. You look at the others, like in the Labour government and all the rest of it. You look at Gordon Brown. Gordon Brown was also Scottish. I'm not saying that's something to be exactly proud of. I'm not, for my own government. I'm not supportive of our own government. Besides all that, the Union was formed and it's not England, and it absolutely sickens me when certain people put up a flag of the United Kingdom with that blue background and white cross, the saltire in it, and they call that England. It's insulting, because you're basically calling my country, Scotland, England. That's what you're doing. And to the last, video, I do apologise in the comments section. Of course, well, not the last one, I'm sure it was part 2 or 3. I apologise, but when someone basically says it's not insulting, us Scottish people should not be insulted by being called English, I'm sorry to say, but that is insulting, okay? That is very insulting. That's like saying that for all those years that our country fought for Scotland, for our independence, for our identity, for all those years that our people fought for identity, that it was pointless.